Hi, my name's Bethany. Welcome to Woolly Meadows Felting. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Christmas pudding, a little felted one for the tree. And I'm going to show you all the stages of how to make this into an ornament from the wool fiber all the way through to the thread. So some supplies you're going to need is some core wool, some brown, white, green, and red. You'll also need a felting surface. These are wool ones that we make, 2 different colors. And then we also use felting needles, which are 36 gauge, and this one is an all-purpose needle. So you're just going to take your core wool, and core wool is any wool that you just want to use on the inside of your project. Sometimes it has more hay in it, or it's just a color that you don't use so much of. Usually a neutral color though, usually a white or gray. So I'm just going to take it and roll it nice and tight. The tighter you roll it, the less time it's going to take to felt. So I just like to roll it and slightly turn it as I'm rolling it so that all those fibers are nice and close together. And then you take this and place it on your felting surface, and you're just going to poke in and out with your felting needle. I should also say that this is Corriedale wool that I'm working with, and it is carded and woolen processed so that when you're felting, all those fibers are a little mixed up already. So you're just going to keep turning it and poking it, and you're going to keep doing this until you've poked the whole ball all over. And after about 10 or 15 minutes, it will be nice and firm and smooth enough to add your next coat. So you can see it already holds its shape pretty well, but you just want to keep poking it a little longer. So it would look like this, and then this. And as you're working on it, you can start to make the bottom slightly flatter, and you just do that by poking into it to shape it, and that flattens the side. That's just the bottom of the pudding. So you just want to coat it with a thin layer of wool. So take a section and you can fluff it out a little bit, because it only needs to be a thin layer. And make it any size that you'd like. You're just going to take that and then poke it into the top. Turn it, poke it. And you can always use a multi-needle tool as well if you'd like to felt slightly quicker. You can also use 2 needles together and poke it. turning and poking. And you want to keep your needle as straight as possible, poking it in and out. The needle just has barbs on the last part, so you're just poking the end parts of your needle into the wool, and that entangles the fibers together. So you want to keep poking it until it's nice and smooth. So this would need probably another 5 minutes of poking just to get all poked in there. But I'm going to show you how to put the white on the top. So as you can see, I've worked on this one a little bit, but you're just going to take a section of your white fiber and then place it onto the pudding and poke it directly on top. And you can do a perfect circle, or you can make the edge a little in and out where the icing is coated the top. You just poke it as you'd like it. You just arrange it with your fingers, move it as you'd like, put it on there, and poke it down. Exactly like that. And then I'm going to show you how to do a leaf, a decorative leaf. So you want to do this onto a smooth surface. So you're going to take a tiny bit of fiber and then just poke it in. And you're catching the fibers with your needle and just tucking them in. You want to be careful as you're doing this not to put too much pressure on the needle so that it doesn't snap, because they don't like to be bent sideways. What you're really doing is catching the fiber and tucking them down. And take a bit more fiber. You can then take some red wool. Again, it's probably just a little tuft of wool. And you're going to make a little felted ball at the top. So roll it into the shape you would like to make. And then put this onto your felting surface. And just gentle pokes. You can also sort of smooth it between your fingers a little bit. This helps it felt. Once your berries are made, this one will need to be felted for a little bit longer. You just place them on top of your pudding and felt through them both. You have to be really careful when you're doing this part, just because you can put downward pressure on your needle and snap it, so you want to just make sure you're poking in and out. Turn it and keep poking. So once those are in position, you can put a thread through it. So using just regular thread, you cut a section with a pair of scissors that will go all the way through and back again. And you put the needle somewhere in the middle, and then just check that it's going to hang balanced. If not, just reposition the needle. And you push it all the way through. And you want to aim for the middle. Keep hold of one of the thread and then push it back through. And then, of course, tie it in a knot and trim the ends. So trim that, and it's ready to go on your tree. So it has a nice round shape and a little flat bottom on it. Thank you for joining me for this video. I hope you found it really useful. Please do subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook, Instagram. We would love to connect with you there. And also check out our supplies, our needle felting supplies and kits that we do, as well as some patterns. Thanks so much. See you again.